Good day to everyone who's watching and welcome to my investor presentation. I know you're all excited to see how I did my trades, so let's do this. Now JC gave me a few guide questions, so let's start off with the first one. What was my overall strategy throughout the competition? Now we all know about the rules, but for those of you who don't, there's a maximum allocation of 33% per stock. Pwede mo lang i-trade yung mga stocks na pinili ng moderators. And wala po ito sa rulebook, but you can only trade the stock at its current real-time price. With that being said, in order to have no excuses whatsoever not to take the InvestaCup seriously, I decided to mirror my real trades. Unless of course wala sa listahan yung stock. And during this time, I was managing 3 portfolios. Having another one isn't that hard, especially if ginagaya mo lang naman yung trades mo. Alright, so ito po yung list natin of tradable stocks. At mukhang di ko na-edit ng maayos at di nasama yung mga stocks in the A category like APX, AP, and the likes. Now the next question here is, ano ba yung naging process ko in stock picking? Okay, I have 4 items here in my list. The first one is the trend. Since long-only market tayo, I make sure to prioritize alpha stocks. Those that have broken at least their 6 months resistances and are in outs or alignment of the stars, which is 20 MA is greater than 50 MA and that 50 MA is greater than 100 MA. If ever I do counter-trend trading or downtrending stocks, I make sure na lalabas ako agad and my stop loss levels are tight. Next item is liquidity. Now, baka may magtatanong sa inyo, Zee, hindi naman issue yung liquidity sa InvestaCup. Well, it matters to me because my Investa trades are a reflection of my real trades. Some stocks on the list are considered illiquid for my size. Sad.
How could this happen to me? I made my mistake.
Now, next on the list is volatility. Because in trading, there's no point of having good liquidity if your stock has low volatility. When given a choice, always choose the faster horse. Lastly, we have DNA. Now, when we say DNA, ito yung ugali ng stock. If you regularly do your backtesting on specific stocks, you'll see that they have a pattern that is unique from other stocks. I'll give you an example later. So from our original short list of stocks, we now have this. Now, throughout the competition, yung mga trades ko have just been revolving around these names. Because you don't need to trade all the stocks out there in order to be profitable, only the ones that matter. Always keep this in mind, hindi ka Pokemon Master. Isa kang trader, so don't catch them all.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test.
As for my risk management, I allocate the maximum amount allowed for one stock, which is 33% of my overall portfolio, so that I can maximize my returns if tama yung pick ko. As for my cut point, it's set either at 1 to 3% from my entry or the nearest Darva support. Biggest trades. Now, based on my records, I made 227 trades. My biggest trades revolved on these 4 names: MAC 13 trades, PXP 45 trades, TUGS 41, and X with 19 trades. Of course, hindi po natin matatakil lahat ng trades na yan, but I'll give you a glimpse of the few good trades that I was able to execute. Let's start with APX. This one is a notable trade because this had the fastest turnover and gave me the biggest return percent-wise. So here's the overview. Bulk of the entry was at 1.88. Hindi po 1.89. Nandito po yung record natin. And the exit was at 2.33. Don't worry, isa-isahin natin to. Now, nagkaroon ng breakout from its consolidation in the morning session as highlighted dito sa orange box. Obviously, I bought on breakout, although not exactly at the breakout point, pero above breakout levels. Now, if you notice in the chart, we have our significant resistances highlighted at R1 and R2. Okay. Normally, I would set my sells in between these two and above, but since APX closed above R1 right here, then I set my mind to sell my shares near and above R2. So, dito banda. So, near and above. Next day, it gapped up and I sold everything at 2.33. All according to plan. Now, here's the question. Why did I sell and not opt to do a TF since malalim naman yung kuha ko kay APX? And the answer to that, DNA. Now, through backtesting and experience, APX has mostly been a sell on spike. The only time I TF or trend follow this one is if it consolidates on its highs with good volume. Alright, so that was our first walkthrough. Now the next series of slides I will show you is one of the easiest trades you can replicate. It's a combination of trend following and swing trading. Let us proceed. Here's MAC, round 1. And this is the overview of the particular trade. We have here a 29% return. And let's go to our reasons for buying this stock. So first we have AOTS, or what I'd like to call alignment of the stars, wherein your 20 MA, here you go, is greater than 50 MA and 50 MA is greater than 100 MA. Now stocks that have broken in their 52-week highs and have this kind of moving average alignment are the easiest to trade. Now second reason for buying, ZS20. Now this is what we call a power horse setup in ZFD, but to make things a bit less alien for some of you, moving averages act as supports and resistances. If it's above prices, that's a resistance. If it's below, then that's a support. And whenever these MA resistances get close and break out from prices, we would obviously have a rally, as you can see here. Now the third reason for buying is DNA. You know, stock is great for TF and momentum. If you look at MAC's previous movements, whenever it breaks out from consolidation, there's an extremely high chance that you get a good rally. Hindi ko lang mapakita dito, but if you check it out, you'll see it. Now let's go for the reasons for selling. For this trade, there's only one reason. My stop got hit intraday, which is the closing price of this particular candle over here. But wait, there's more! Here's what happened the next few days. Boom! Breakout to fake up. GG mga sir! Sakit! 6% agad. So ayan po ang resulta ng trade na to. Anyway, let's not give up just yet. Here's MAC round 2. Let's go to the overview. Sarap ng breakout, no? Pinasell lang tayo. Ayan, no? Pinasell lang tayo, tapos rally ulit siya. So on this particular trade, may 20% return tayo. Let's head on sa ating reasons for buying. Okay, first is outs. 1, 2, 3. Next slide, we have, ayan, breakout. And the third, just like the first MAC trade, ayan, when it breaks out, usually may follow through na nagaganap. So yan talaga yung DNA ni MAC. Now we go to our reasons for selling. There's only one for this trade, and that is the possible short-term double top. Yan. Medyo makati kamay ko eh. I know pwede namang ETF ka, so swing mode ako dito eh. We go on to the next.
3.
Ayan, MAC uli. Round 3. Gatas na po mga mamsers. Okay, so let's head on to the overview. Here we see a 19% return on this trade. Ayan po yung mga entries natin. Okay. So again, we have the same reasons as the other MAC trades. AOTS, breakout, and finally yung DNA niya. So here's the reason for selling. Ito medyo iba na yung reasons natin. First, it failed to close above the breakout point from its previous high. This is the previous high. Ito. This one over here. It failed. Kita nyo naman yung wick na yan. And second, it confirmed the fake out move the next trading day. And if you review this trade, ang tagal ng console niya afterwards. So that's it for the Max Serie. I hope may natutunan kayo sa mga trades na to. Now let's move on to the next series of trades with PXP. Here's the overview, and on this momentum trade, we have a return of 41%. I wasn't able to sell at the tops on this one. Medyo bitter ako dyan.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Beautiful love 하늘 아래 너와 있다면.
Okay, so reasons for buying. First, we have outs, and second is the breakout. Its recent high. Ayan. Ito yung outs. And then, yeah, that's your breakout. So sa closing ako bumili nito. Para sure. And as for my reason for selling, a wild wick appeared over here. Now, when we say wick, for me, that translates into weakness. I sold the next day on the morning session and booked those gains. Just following my plan. Let's proceed. Now, this here is my favorite setup. And to those of you who don't know, it's the very first setup that I learned as I started my trading career. Bounce plays. I think I made 3 rounds of bounce plays on PXP throughout the whole competition. But, sige, I'll show you the first 2. Now this is the first bounce. Here's the entry, here's the exit. And here is round 2. Or the second one. Parang dali lang, no? Buy low and sell high. Now, whenever the prices, whenever there are wild upswings, expect that there will also be downswings. Prices don't go in a straight line. So what's the secret? And the answer to that is Fibonacci. Now, I won't go into the details of the setup as it is very, very lengthy na topic. But to give you an idea, prices react at a certain Fibonacci or retracement levels. And how they react to these levels determine the chances of the stock's next move. Now, Fibonacci's don't always work. There are certain parameters that needs to be fulfilled para maging effective yung tool na to. So if you want to know more about the setup and the secret as to how I did these trades, you can go visit my blog about it and read the comments. Medyo masaya si Tita Nini. Okay. Anyway, I'll leave it up to you guys to find out. Now, what were my biggest challenges throughout the competition? I guess the biggest challenge for me was the fact that during the whole competition, I was traveling. There were a lot of times that I had to trade using my mobile phone. Sometimes walang internet sa place or walang signal yung phone ko. And so I end up with really bad trades. Swerte na nga ako kung mabagal lang yung internet, tapos yun lang yung problema.
Curry sauce actually really delicious. Honestly, lasa siyang Bang Tomas. Yung curry sauce. Bang Tomas.
Meron nga.
So, how's trading?
Wow, I'm already at second place. This is crazy. But nauna na si Taylor sa first to DYM.
Ah,
Fast.
that's okay.
Wow.
It would have been so boring if you became top 1 because that means you have no room for improvement
I
anymore.
guess so. Well, not
Yeah.
always. The best competition is against yourself.
if you know what you're doing already. But if you don't know what you're doing, the best competition is always the one on top. The one. Always make the best people your competition or your benchmark. And how do you know they're the best people? If they show you results. And that is why this Taylor guy, I give you my respects.
Well, not only that, there were days I had to be in events like seminars or meeting friends.
Gusto naman, Kap.
Gusto ko siya shopping mo ka.
Wala pa nga sa shopping eh.
Saan ka ba galing?
Ano yung bugis kanina?
Hindi. Kasi napagod ako sa bike. Nagpag ako.
Or organizing the events. And what best time to do this but trading days when the competition is ongoing.
Do you remember if we locked that bag?
Just to give you an idea, here's an actual photo of all the loot I've collected from all the hotels, hostels, and Airbnb units during my travels. Hindi pa kasama yung mga tsinelas dyan. That's a solid 6 months of traveling. I should probably name my blog Ang Lagang Trader. Anyways, thank you all for listening. I do hope you learned from this short presentation. And may the odds be ever in your favor.